Everybody, thanks for watching. Real quick, Frequency and Vibration, Volume 3 is out now. Make sure you guys grab that. Also, The God of 2025 is also available. Frequency and Vibration, when you guys grab it, it will come with the first two, part one and part two. So when you get this new video, it will come with part one and part two for this weekend only. So make sure you guys grab it. You'll get all three parts. So now I'll get into the rest of the updates at the end of the video, but I want to get into this video. So yeah, it's a lot going on, a lot of information out. One of the good things about having so much time to really focus and everything like that, I've just really dug more deeper into my research, and just it's just so much stuff that you miss, and it's just so much stuff that it's always new information. I'm always a student. I'm always learning. I'm always like picking up on certain things. But when you have time to really dig in, which recently I have, you just really it opens up so many more doors of information. So I have a lot to put out, a lot of information, but I want to really get into the final parts of a lot of these series that I have going on. With Saturn, Satan, and mystery schools or what have you. Is a lot of energy videos and frequency videos that I have to add on to those as well. So like the topic of this video is really geared towards this new frequency video and understanding what that's all about. So it's a lot. And throughout just being able to pay more attention to people recently, a lot of people are still hung up on the whole God aspect in Christianity, of course. And I always get that question, and I've been running into so many people having so many interesting conversations about religion, the Bible, and God. And it's just so much information I put out on it. And it's just really, a lot of people still don't get it. And I've been trying to think and rack my brain on the best possible way to put things, which of course we know, 1+1 don't equal 2 to a lot of these Christians. So no matter how you speak or how you talk, they're just not going to accept it, a lot of the times, most of the times. But, it's just some people who are conscious are still holding on to this God aspect and Jesus, and wanting to keep that on the back burner, and not really understanding what that is, but yet calling themselves conscious. You got to understand what's going on. And then you have to also understand, anybody that's preaching to you a black or white Jesus is bullshit. It's bullshit. I don't care who it is. Anybody that's still preaching to you all this stuff that's going on, it's so much misinformation. And I get so many people hitting me up about, have you heard this guy? Or have you seen this guy's videos? And then, if I do take the time to look, it's just so much misinformation and so much craziness that's wrapped up into a lot of this stuff. Everybody wants to jump on the Anunnaki thing, the whole Anunnaki situation, and use that and try to incorporate the Bible and history into this whole Anunnaki myth, which I busted up in previous videos. You guys got to understand, these people are here to sell you books, to sell you videos, to not give you no truth. It's easy to see who the agents are, the agents of misinformation, by their platform and everything that they have. They would not give you all this stuff. You would not have that type of platform if you was doing something that was detrimental to their, agenda. Again, as I say, there's rules to all of this. It's universal law. It's ways of putting out information and doing things the correct way, to where you're not interfering with choice, or you're not leading anybody astray as far as being on the right path of finding, right knowledge and correct information. Now, I'm not saying I have all the answers and I'm just the only person that's on here that's right, nor do I want you guys to not really listen to what a lot of these people are saying. I just don't want you to really take it in as far as being correct information. I want people to learn about Islam and learn about Christianity, and read the Bible and read the Quran and Torah, and learn what the Hebrews are talking about. So when it comes time for you to really do the research and decipher this stuff, you know how to break it down, because you know what they're talking about. You know how to get through the pitfalls and all of the rhetoric and all of the ideology, because you know about it. A lot of people have a problem really understanding what we talk about as far as the Bible, because they haven't read the book. A lot of people haven't even read the whole entire book of Genesis. So they don't really understand what we be talking about when we say certain things. So now that's going to get me into this video. So God, that's one of the biggest pitfalls that we have as far as researching religion and what's going on. And I hate That in the past I had to be so insensitive to so many people who really just looking for answers and really want to know what God is. And I've been brutal to a lot of people, and rightfully so in some cases. But some people are just looking for hope. Some people just want to make sense of it all and feel some type of, love and protection or what have you from life. And life is cruel. You're not really going to get no protection outside of yourself. And that's what you got to understand what all this is going back to, is understanding that no matter what you do, how hard you pray, who you pray to, at the end of the day, it's you. At the end of the day, it's you. So it's tough to get people into that understanding because of the God aspect. So what you hear from a lot of religious people is, if the Bible isn't correct, then who created us? A lot of people's ignorance does not make the Bible correct. And that's what people are pointing to. They say, well, of course the Bible is correct, because how else you got here? How else did we get here? Something created us. Somebody created us. It's what the Bible was saying. And what we are saying, as I have said before, is it's not what the Bible is teaching us that created us. So I'll talk about as God being the creator, and that being the correct term for it all, because again, you have to look at the Bible, and it's talking about in the book of Genesis, in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth, and the heaven and the earth was without form and void. Darkness fell upon the deep and all that. But this is where we are supposedly getting our understanding of the creation of the universe, the heavens, the earth. So space itself. So you have to understand that, damn, think about it. And it's common sense when you really can think critically. So if God created the heavens and the earth and the universe and everything like that, who created God? You know what I'm saying? And who created that creator, and so on and so forth. It's just a never ending question when you really think about it critically. Then you think about, well, this is how space came to be. God created space. But then you have to think about, well, God had to exist in a space to create space. And what was that space that God existed in when he created space? And in what space did God put space? You understand? So, if I got a ball and I want to put it in a room, the room exists already. I just put the ball in there, but the room exists. In order for me to put the ball somewhere, the ball had to be somewhere prior to me putting the ball in that room. So in what room was the ball before I put it in that room? Understand? It was somewhere first. So there is existence. And again, you have to understand, when you wrap your head around this, you can get through the whole God aspect. You can understand, one, existence has always existed. Plain and simple. It has always been here. And you have preachers and people that'll tell you that God exists outside of space and time. You know what I'm saying? That just don't make sense at all. If you exist outside of space and time, you don't exist. That's non-existence. So he had to exist outside of it to create it. Okay, so in what space was he existing in when he created? What is that space? Understand? So you have to think about that. If space is infinite, like we are told, then it has always been here. It's an infinite space. And it makes the most sense. It has always been existence. Complete darkness, nothingness is still something, when you understand. And get that out of the way. Just understand that aspect. So a creator being, a being, meaning that being had to be created itself. So you got to understand that something that had to have always exist created us. And, when you get more deeper into it, it's a higher intelligence that basically put us together, which we get into in the new frequency video, and understanding that energy, because you got to decipher and understand, one, as I talked about, we have atoms. Different amounts of atoms create elements. Different elements create the physical world we know, right? You got to think about that. So we understand how much energy atoms have. Lots of energy. So the thing is, one, how are we, the electrical soul, they call it, how are we different from that atomic energy, or are we the same? Is the energy in atoms our soul, or are we something, Are we something different besides that energy? And this is what we get into in frequency and vibration volume 3. You got to really understand that, but it'll get you into the correct knowledge of what this whole God thing is, and that is not this being in a book, but that book is giving you a real understanding on how to arrive at who or what God really is. Understand, one, the Bible many times is giving you a reference as you as God. Jesus says that, isn't it written that I said you are gods? So it's giving you so many instances where it's telling you that you are God. And that's what you need to understand. And I broke down how Jesus is you. Jesus is the sun, the literal sun in the sky. That's what he represents, among other things. But he also represents you in your conscious state. God represents your all-powerful subconscious, which exists within you. Jesus within you, as he says many times in the Bible. And you got to look at this. Again, a lot of people point out, I had a whole conversation with somebody that wanted to break down the devil worship in the music industry. And as I always point out, well, how could they be worshiping the devil when they're wearing Jesus pieces? When they're walking around thinking Jesus, they get an award, they think Jesus. It's because they understand. And it's one of the things that a lot of people got to really think about. A lot of Christians praising these rappers or what have you, because they get all this fame and success and then they think Jesus. But how is Jesus blessing these people with success and fame when they're rapping about sin, when they're rapping about killing and murder or what have you? They understand what's going on. It's what you need to understand so you can escape from this whole, self-guilt that's out here that's wrapped up into Christianity. And it's knowing that you are God. And they wear the Jesus piece because they understand that they are Jesus. And that's what the Bible is speaking to. So at the end of the day, when you pray, who are you praying to? Praying to yourself. You close your eyes in privacy or in church or what have you, and you pray. People bow their heads and pray. You're going in. You're speaking to yourself and you're programming yourself and telling yourself what you want. Calling yourself whatever you call yourself, Father, Lord, Jesus, or what have you. That is speaking to your own energy, because at the end of the day, it's going to be your own energy that causes things to happen. And again, a metaphor to all that is prayer. It's you just praying and programming yourself, which is meditation, to do what you're asking for. You understand? So if you really get it and grasp how frequency and vibration work, and you're constantly praying for something or constantly saying to yourself you want to do something, you go do it. When you really want something, like you really want it, you go get it. You do what you need to do to go get it. The problem is, most of us, we don't go and get it until it's detrimental, till our prayer becomes the problem. And now we got to act because it's serious now. Something happened and you got to stop bullshitting. You got to go and do it. And that's when people finally, go and act and go and do it, because you sit there and you pray for your rent money. It's not just going to come. You got to go out and work. Even if you get it from somebody, you had to go and ask them for it. And then you thank God. And again, you got to get what that's speaking to. Because even if somebody gave it to you and you thinking God, you thinking them. Because they're gods too. When you really understand what all this, I'm God, we are gods, and the 5%ers and the gods of earth and nation, and all these people way back in the day was talking to when they was elaborating, when they were saying that we are gods. I am God. God exists within me. And we call each other gods and everything like that in the hip hop culture a lot of times. So what is that speaking to? We follow this hip hop culture and everybody embrace it and everything like that. But that part of it, people want to shun because of Christianity, but at the same time follow because it's popular, but it's still going against Christianity. So, you can't pick and choose. You can't serve two masters or what have you. So which one is it? Either you're going to follow the hip hop culture because you think it's your culture and, you like it or what have you, or you're not going to follow because of how it's, promoting sin and it's against what you say is your practicing religion, which is Christianity. You got to pick one, but you're trying to do both. But it's one of the things that confuse people because they don't understand why these people are proclaiming Christianity by wearing a Jesus piece and thinking Jesus, but at the same time promoting sin. How does that work? Everybody's so scared of Satan and going to hell, yet people are not practicing the religion to escape it or to keep from going there. So it makes you question, what are you really doing here? A lot of people, as I talk about, just playing games with the whole thing and not understanding what it's really speaking to. Again, Satan is the evil aspect of yourself. We are all Satan. We are all God. It's the reason why God don't just kill Satan in the Bible. Is because he is Satan. And I know I talked about this in a lot of videos, reiterating here. It's a lot of people, who haven't seen those videos. Those videos are buried. I don't even know which videos they took down. So I'm going to get into a lot of information I talked about before, but I had to put out new videos on some of this stuff because a lot of people just need to know, and I don't have enough of it to go around to get people into that correct understanding. So I'll touch on some of the same topics in this video as well, but it's leading towards something, and I want you guys to really get that because, like I said, I've been coming into a lot of new information recently. So in frequency and vibration, I've really had to really touch on a lot of new ways of thinking and thought that I've come into and looking at, so much stuff that I already went over, but missed a lot of points. That's one of the things when you don't research, you look at a lot and you're not going to get everything. So you got to really go back and keep being that student and keep researching. So again, when Satan just represents the evil energies that exist. Plain and simple. You haven't seen or read Satan doing anything worse than what you've seen man do. It's just that simple. You see what's going on in Israel and what's going on with this whole Jewish Islamic war. These people killing kids and dead bodies of little kids, incinerated, obliterated because of missiles or bombs or what have you. What is worse than that? That is completely evil, and that's man-made. This is what men are doing to children. This ain't no Satan coming down doing that. And people want to think, oh, maybe Satan possessed these people to do it. Well, of course Satan did, because Satan represents the evil part of us. So it's satanic in essence and everything. What they're rapping about in the music industry is satanic in essence because it's evil. It's bad. So when you understand and look at it from that point, it is what it is. And that's the problem. A lot of people can't accept that because they're looking at things as being too simple and it's hard for them to accept. It's like when you see a magic trick and you're blown away by it, like, oh my goodness, how did he do that? But then when they show you how the trick is done, you're like, get the fuck out of here. It was so simple. It's the same thing that's happening with the Bible. The simplest explanation, people are not accepting. When we say Jesus is the Son. Jesus is called the light of the world. Well, the Son is the light of the world. Jesus is called the Son. Jesus walks on water in the Bible. Well, the Son walks on water when it's setting, over the water. Jesus turns water into wine. Well, the Son makes it rain, which is basically making the grapevines grow. So, and people just look at it and say, that's some bullshit. Get out of here. But that's exactly what it is. The simplest explanation is giving you the answer right there. It's the same thing with Satan. People looking at it and just not accepting that Satan is the evil aspect that exists within all of us, just like God is the good aspect that exists within all of us. It's duality, it's yin yang, good and evil. The whole part of it is choice. What are you going to choose? What are you going to choose? And that's what life is about. Those choices. Those choices are going to create your next experience. Plain and simple, which is what this is all about. Experiencing, growing in consciousness, growing in energy through experiences. So, understanding the book and what it's speaking towards is exactly that. Having different understandings of ways to live life, the teachings in the Bible and everything is talking about, all the stories, is giving you breakdowns and all that, but also giving you an understanding of how things work as far as how you should operate out here, making the correct choices. So many times you look in the Bible and you see choices that they made that caused their downfall. And they're giving you a lot of examples of that in the book. But at the same time, you're seeing problems with God and things that God does. God does things that's human-like. Being jealous. What does God have to be jealous about? That, he created everything. How are you jealous of something that you created, that you supposedly have the power to change at any moment and do whatever you want with it? If Christianity was about having this faith in God or what have you, it would be no point in prayer. What's the point of prayer? Having prayer for God to change his plan, and you saying that you have faith in God's plan and you believe in God's plan, but you praying to change it. Again, it's just something to really think about, all that. It just all goes back towards you coming into the right understanding of what this stuff is all about. God is you, Jesus is you. It's just that simple. So yeah, it's a lot to get into. Like I said, I got a lot of videos on this stuff, but Yeah, people asked me to talk about this. So yeah, I wanted to put this video out for people who ask and just really get into their information. A lot of times I'll be getting questions and I want to point people to the video, but I have so many fucking videos and I can't even remember a lot of the times what video I said what in. So I try to put out the information so I can have multiple videos saying this information so people can really get the message. But it's a lot. It's deep. And, again, this is not taking anything away from the Bible. The book is, again, one of the greatest books ever written. You must read and have a Bible because it's just important to understand what's in there and what it's really talking about. And you're not supposed to worship the book and the stories. It amazes me, man. It's just still crazy to me how much, even still today in 2024, people are still clung to this book after we basically, the Corona basically destroyed the book. You really think about it. They were putting freaking signs on the holy water. Caution, warning, to not mess with the holy water that's supposed to be holy and bless people, heal people. But there's a warning sign on it. The fact that all those preachers who opened church, a lot of these preachers died from Corona. And the Bible says that guys, he will protect you from disease, pestilence. It's crazy. So you got to really look at it. It's just so many times the promise of the Bible hasn't been fulfilled, which all of us experienced the first time you pray and nothing happened. It's when are people going to stop and wake up and realize what this book is about? It's so much out there. I've seen so many people repost preachers talking about the same stuff. And now they're starting to get a little bit smarter. They're starting to try to mix in, Egyptian stuff with the Bible. They're trying to mix in consciousness with the Bible and everything like that because they're seeing the churches deplete and people come over to consciousness or, into Hebrew or Islam or what have you. But they're seeing it a lot because it's just, the Bible is the one who's just, this is it. It's Jesus. It's God. It's nobody else. Whereas, at least with Islam and other religions, they are tolerant of other religions. And, you have the whole coexist movement that's been around for years now. But with Christianity, it's like, no, they're all wrong. Jesus, nobody else, just the one God. But they can't make it make sense. So it's a lot of people who just being smarter, especially this new younger generation who just seeing the bullshit and calling it for what it is. But it shocks me still today, grown ass men and women still cling to this thing as if it's, some type of security blanket that's proven to have done something when it has not done anything for us. We went through slavery, praying. We went through Jim Crow. We went through so much racism, which we're still going through. We went through so much as a people to where we can show and prove through our history that this religion has done nothing for our people. It's the same thing with hip hop. People clinging on hip hop, and hip hop is the greatest thing ever. What has it done for our people as a whole? It made some niggas rich, plain and simple. And what did those niggas do with that money? Tease you, because you ain't got it. Show off, because they got it and you don't. Make songs about fucking your girl and stealing your girl and all kinds of shit. It's ridiculous how much black people cling on to anything that the white man say is ours, but it's not ours. How can the people who supposedly love you and care about you enslave you? They enslaved you for hundreds of years, beat, hung you, set you on fire, but then gave you a book to save your soul. And the book has rules that supposedly will send you to hell if you do certain things, which those certain things is what they was doing to the slaves. Evil shit. And it just makes sense. Oh, damn. We look in the Bible and it says, oh, wait a minute. Treat the slave master the same way you treat Jesus. It makes sense right there. Ephesians 6:5. Slaves obey your earthly masters the same way you would obey Christ. Equating the slave master to Christ. Again, we use that a lot, and Christians get mad when we use that Bible verse. But again, that should be the one verse alone that should make you drop that damn book and keep it moving, or to really understand what we're saying as being conscious and understanding what that's about and how you can still have your Jesus and praise your Jesus because you're praising yourself, but really understand what that stuff really is. No damn white Jesus coming to save you, man. How the hell, Jesus is white and existed and did all this stuff on the planet, and you following him, and he allowed you to be enslaved. And not just that, gave you fucking instructions on how you should be a slave and a good slave, and how your slave master will beat you if you don't listen. I mean, think about that. I mean, the nigga co-signing your ass whipping. Like, well, why would you praise this person that's co-signing your ass whipping? Co-signing your enslavement and you being murdered and tortured or what have you. Yeah, it's ridiculous. But people don't really get into that deep of it because they don't want to stick around for the conversation because they know how stupid they sound. So you guys got to understand, like, it's so many civilizations that get into, you know, just frequency and sound and vibration. They talked about this shit thousands of years ago. And now scientists want to come out and really start referring to it because now it's just what they're going to be using. It's what we're going to really get into more, towards the future. And it's a different way and technique, not even a different, same shit they've been using, but it's different ways that we can heal ourselves coming up using these frequencies and sound. They're already doing it, but we get into this stuff. We're going to get into it a lot more. It's a lot to all this. But yeah. For the people who asked the question, again, like I said, I know I've been going for a minute. It's a lot going on. A lot of people going to want to know about books or what have you. Like I said, I had to rewrite God to God. God to God is completely different. This is the prototype book that I have. The cover stayed the same. I had to completely rework and change a lot of stuff in the book. But it's basically, I want to make sure everything came out right. I'm able to use exactly what's in the original book, but as far as the different context of what's noted, I can't really speak on it. NDA, I signed NDA, and without breaking none of that, it's still good. It's still gonna be a good book. Once I have it, once everything is done and complete, everybody who ordered the book will get the book. Like I said, most people already got a refund or asked for a refund or what have you. But a lot of people did not. A lot of people are patiently waiting. I thank you guys for waiting. You will get it. Flash drives are going to be going out. Flash drives are also available now. You guys can get those flash drives. The only thing that held those flash drives back for a long time was the fact that when the IRS took my account, I lost everything. Like I said, I had $500 I was scrambling. I couldn't even afford to ship these flash drives out or get new ones. Like, it just was a horrible situation that I had to dig myself out of, which I did now. So I'm going to be backtracking. And it's just me. I don't have a team. I can't afford to pay a team right now. I don't have the money that I used to until this whole thing is over. And I got to wait on them for that, which should be soon. Hopefully, this month. But until they release my accounts, I'm working, I'm grinding. Like I said, I've been doing Uber. I've been doing what I had to do to take care of my family and take care of my daughter. And it's been tough. It's been a tough, 6, 7, 8 months, however long it's been. I've been gone. And I've been fighting, like literally fighting and grinding it out, man. And it's been crazy. It's been tough. I didn't want to come on here and put a bunch of personal information out there. I probably already said too much, but it's a lot of the shit is wrapped up in court shit. It's a lot of legal stuff. And it's lawsuits I got going on. It's a bunch of shit I got going on, and it's just been crazy. But you guys have helped out a lot. It's been a lot of people, just messages and people checking up on me. People donating, the little that they did donate. It's a few people that donate here and there. Some people on a continuous basis, but it helps. It helps, especially at this point. I'm not above going to get a job or work or what have you, but luckily I know what I know, and I'm able to still jump in a few things and know how to make money here and there. So that helped out, and it's been a process. Like, it's just been crazy, but this is how it happens. This is what they do. You know what I'm saying? I didn't break universal law. I didn't take any oaths. I didn't take any fucking pledges or what have you. So I'm not subjected to what happens to other people, getting axed. It's just how they fuck with you until you overcome it, and it is what it is. So I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. So much more coming to Merkaba Academy. So, like, I've been able to climb out of this fucking hole and be able to jump back into what I need to jump back into to keep my shit going. Have our servers. That's another thing I forgot to say. The servers, we got the servers. So, server drive, I was able to. I had, I think Ace Cloud, who put up the last bit of money that we needed to get the servers. There was a lot of people who came up, some private people who donated the money, but we got them now. So it's not going to be no big lag. What I talked about in the guide of 2025 about, cyber attack or what have you, which is going to hinder a lot of people's communication issues. But we'll have a way. We'll have a way to get that information out. Long as there's electricity, which there will be, as far as with generators or what have you, whatever you guys have. But again, it's a lot going on. It's just so much and a lot to prepare for, a lot of information to put out. And that's what I'm doing. I'm going to keep doing it, keep doing what I've been doing. And I want to thank everybody who's been supporting, purchased the videos and everything like that to help support me and my family and everything that I've been doing. It's a lot, and it means a lot to have people still believe in you after something like this happened. They're trying to destroy me. They're trying to discredit me. They made it hard for me to even fulfill my obligation as far as putting stuff out. Like, this is what happens. I try to tell you guys, like, anybody who's not going through what I'm going through and facing these problems, you got people out here got whole platforms and TV shows and all. Like, come on now. Like, if they doing the right thing, they wouldn't be able to do it. You people believing Terrence Howard, stop it. Do not fucking send me no more messages about Terrence Howard. That's fucking easy. That's an easy one. He's a celebrity. Do you think they will allow him to put out right information? Oh, this guy is the person who made up the whole metaverse? Get the fuck out of here. They're giving you this shit to give more validity into what he's saying. He's a huge distraction. Terrence Howard is a Mason that's embarking upon the 33rd degree, the great work. You're not in Hollywood and an actor and exposed to that kind of lifestyle and everything that's going on. But then all of a sudden you popping up with all this knowledge. And they put you on platforms and forums and making it look like, oh, the Illuminati they're not letting him do movies or nothing no more. When he came out and said he wasn't doing it anymore anyway. But they're not letting him do this and that. This is an illusion. It's what they've been doing. It's the MO. You've seen it before. Come on, man. Come on. They're not going to let you do all this shit. What is Alex Jones? Y'all don't believe this shit? Y'all think these people really putting out this truth and everything like that and still allowed to have these major platforms and make millions of dollars? No, it don't work like that. You get what I'm getting. You get fucked with by the IRS. You get fucking FBI coming to your crib and all kinds of shit. This is what happens to you. So, yeah, you guys be the judge for yourselves. And again, I appreciate everybody that didn't leave me, that's been supporting, that's been, sending words of encouragement and been patiently waiting. I appreciate it. But yeah, I'm back and I got a lot to put out and it's a lot more to come. But yeah, thanks for watching.